Welcome back to the latest episode of TT Plays. We have spoilers fresh off of merch day. So I thought we'd just take a few minutes and go over them, talk about the newest keywords that we've seen, and some really exciting stuff around here. So let's start with our lovely girl Tristan. We got a Tristan level 1, we got a Tristan level 2, we got a Tristan level 3, and we got another Tristan level 3. Pretty cool. What does it do? So Tristan level 1, on enter, 19 health. Pretty standard there for Assassin, it looks like. We can get a prep counter. If we don't, we get agility 3, and agility 3 is a new keyword. And what agility says, we can return 3 cards from your memory to your hand at the beginning of your end phase. So now, is agility always going to be a good ability? No. There's plenty of times we want cards down. But if we do, then we just go ahead and take the prep counter. But this could be really powerful when we're trying to pump out cards. It really just depends on kind of how we build this deck. It does give us some great filtering. If we do plan on using those 2 cards for leveling up to go to level 2, obviously we end up putting 5 cards down this round. We can pull 3 up, so then we know we're basically pure in our level up, right? We have full choice in what we end up getting. So I do think agility is a really powerful mechanic that they're introducing here, and we will see it on some other cards. At a high level, Tristan just looks a little bit worse than Xander, right? Xander gets the prep and the glimpse. Here we get the prep and maybe agility, although agility is definitely stronger than glimpse at its best. So Tristan Hired Blade is level 2 Tristan here. Tristan Lineage. So we have a second level 2 Tristan here, and obviously not bound to anything. If Tristan has 2 or more prep counters, draw a card. 4 or more prep counters, draw an additional card. So if we can level up and draw 2 cards, that would be amazing. But then obviously we're not blitzing Tristan out based on the current amount of prep counters we think we can get. Again, we talked about it. Tristan level 1 is only getting us a prep counter when we choose not to use the agility. But I do think Hired Blade definitely has some potential. Drawing 2 cards would be really interesting. And it's interesting to me from the sense of possibly using this in a de-leveling situation with any of the innervates. But we'll see what other cards we get. Level 3 Tristan, the first level 3 Tristan, summons 2 Ominous Shadow tokens. Comes in for the 25 health. Remove 2 prep counters. Change the target of attack that targets Tristan to a Fantasia ally you control. So, pretty cool. Let's take a look at those allies real quick here. Got to bounce around a little bit. They're 1/4s. They have unblockable. If damage would be meant to them, we prevent 3 of that damage. So you have to hit these real hard to get them out of the way. And Ominous Shadows may only declare attacks against units your champion has dealt damage to this turn. So that's quite a lot of resilience built into this new Tristan we saw here. So pretty excited about that. And then we have the weirdest new Tristan. Tristan can level up into 2 champions at the same base level, and she does draw 2 cards. Banish 4 cards if opponent's deck face down. As long as they're banished, you can play them ignoring elemental requirements. So I guess we can have 2 Tristans, which explains why we saw the Tristan Spider-Man meme on the recollection box. So a lot going on here with Tristan. Some really cool stuff. I did just want to highlight the agility and the other keyword that got spoiled here, and this is not from the Tristan starter here, is Imbue. You may reserve cards revealed as you activate this card. If at least 2 of them are wind elements, it becomes imbued. And what's imbued? Well, it's another trigger, and then it's a state, and obviously then we would draw a card into the memory. But it's interesting we could reserve cards as revealed. I believe this would work for Lux and Xander, so it's interesting if we pick up a couple more fire cards, or maybe there's enough wind cards with Imbue that wind Xander becomes a thing. I did just think it was an interesting mechanic here that we can reserve things as revealed. A lot of different things have triggers on reveal. Some of the other cards I thought were really cool. I'm not going to go over these again. You can go to Gabri.net. Obviously a fantastic resource here. Just a flat negate coming in with the Assassin here. Paying 4 for it, I don't think people will do that. Paying 2 for it is obviously really powerful. So Assassins getting a normal negate, I think, is huge. I like Water Xander already. Friend of the show, Trent, did really well at the regionals with the Water Xander list. I really like this card quite a bit here. So I think that's really interesting, to say nothing else. We saw some interesting regalias and some other things, but again, I don't want to go through all of these. You can kind of check the rest of them out on Gabri.net. I do want to jump down and talk about slimes, though. Slime. So what do we get? We get Spirit of Slime. This is amazing. So we get 7 cards. That's good. 15 health. That's good. So we're not paying a penalty for this outside of losing our elemental type. What do we get for losing our elemental type? We ignore the elemental requirements of basic slime element cards you can activate. Okay, so basic element slime cards we can play regardless of their type. That's really cool. We got a new Sylvie. What does Sylvie do? Well, as my buddy Nigel called, you get to play advanced element slimes, ignoring elemental bonuses. This also grants us Terra. So we would not have an element up till now, and then we would gain Terra. And then the next slime ally activate costs 2 less to activate and enters with 2 additional buff counters. How good is that? I honestly don't know. There are some times when that's really going to suck. Because you basically you have to be able to level up and then play a slime out of your hand. But the advanced elements are interesting, and oh man, did we get a lot of slimes here. Baby red slime, adorable. On attack, you can discard. If you do, draw a card in your memory. If the discarded goes with fire, it gets +1. Okay, it's not bad. 2 for a 2/1, not horrible. 2 for a 3/1, that's pretty good. Trades really well. Baby blue slime, tap to prevent 2 to another target ally slime you control. Okay, that's kind of cute. Could be a 1/3 for 2. I don't hate it. It's also just absolutely adorable. How could you be mad at any of these cards? We have Gather Slime. Again, it's a slime card, so you're able to play it. Fast activation. Reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. Recover X, where X is the amount of slime ally cards revealed. Put a slime ally card from them into your hand, and the rest on the bottom in any order. There is a ton of value on this. We're going to get to recover a couple, and we're going to get a card replacement out of this in best case scenario. I really like Gather Slimes, especially when it's fast. Baby green slime. Again, adorable. They've got wings. They can be activated quickly. It's 2 for a 1/1. That's real bad. But on enter, we suppress target item or weapon. That's really cool. So I do like the baby green slime quite a bit. We also have Slime's Blessings. Costs 1 less to activate. Gets us to 2. It's fast. Choose up to 3 units. Put a level counter on each of chosen champion. Put a level counter on each chosen champion and a buff counter on each chosen slime ally. So a couple different ways we can utilize this. The level counter obviously really helps with pride. Buff counters obviously just make us stronger. So Slime's Blessing I think is another welcome addition to Tamer here. We then have the advanced element slimes. Storm Slime, Arcane. And again, we get to activate these as long as we're Sylvie level 3, right? Ignore the elemental requirements. Storm Slime. As a spell, deal damage to target unit equal to the number of the slime cards in your banishment. So it's going to come in, it's going to bolt your opponent for a couple. I think that's pretty cute. Pride 3, so Pride should be awake when we do it. Then it's just a 2 for a 3/1, which trades phenomenally, right? Kills most allies in the game. On death, you can banish 2 cards at random from your memory. If you do, draw 2 cards. I like everything about this slime. Love this slime. The artwork is also amazing. Ethereal Slime. The Crux Slime. Pride 3 Stealth True Sight. On enter, you may banish a Tamer card from your material deck. If you do, draw a card and put a buff counter on Ethereal Slime. I don't know how I feel about that, but it's certainly interesting. Level 5 plus prevent all non-combat damage that would prevent to Ethereal Slime. So again, pretty interesting. I like how it's just pulling from the best hitters from Crux and Arcane so far. Luxem, this slime looks extremely serene. Pride 5 Taunt, 1/5. On enter, reveal any slime cards from your memory. For each one, put a buff counter on it. So this slime could be huge. Again, we can put cards in memory that weren't just from paying the cost here. Then we're going to reveal any amount of cards from the memory. And then on death, recover X, where X is the amount of buff counters on the slime. And we've already seen a couple different ways to get additional buff counters on there. So this could be a pretty big recover. Last one that we've seen at least is the Verdant Slime. I absolutely love the horns. These are all just adorable. This is Terra, Pride 5 Taunt. On enter, destroy up to 1 target regalia with memory cost 0. If you don't, put 2 buff counters on the slime. So it's a 2 for a 4/4, or it's a 2 and it comes in and it blows up your sword. I really like the Verdant Slime. Are slimes good enough? We don't know. But they certainly look interesting, right? We have Key Slime Pudding, which is going to get buffs for all the slimes we play this turn. We have Slime Nexus, which is going to make it cheaper to activate slimes. We have a Forest Cake, which has slimes in it, which is on enter, draw a card. So it kind of... Oh, I'm sorry. This isn't a regalia, right? On enter, draw a card. And then it's an item. Whenever an ally or beast enters the field under control, you may sacrifice the cake. And if you do, put a buff counter on it. I thought this was regalia up until now. This is a lot better, not being a 2-cost in regalia. So a lot of different slime options, a lot of different Tristan options. Tristan is, of course, gorgeous. I think for some reason they made her more top-heavy. I'm not judging, just interesting decision there. A bunch of cool mechanics. We've seen Agility. We've seen Imbue, that ability to reveal cards. So some really cool stuff coming up in the new set. These Recollection sets look stacked. Whether you want to play Slime or whether you want to get on the Assassin bandwagon here. So again, check out Gabri.net. Stay tuned for all the spoilers coming up. We have a spoiler here on TT Plays coming up in the future. I'll be happy to reveal it as soon as I can. So thank you everyone for watching. I hope you're as excited about slimes as I am. And until next time, cheers and happy gaming.